Elon did it. SpaceX had its IPO and it got through. And today I'm gonna tell you how Elon just made a shitload of money. I don't know if I would say that he's scammed, but you'll see soon. And I'm gonna try and explain it as best and simple as possible. My drawings are a bit bad, but let's go through it. First of all, we have to think about what SpaceX is actually worth. The company is losing money, they're not profitable, so for me at least, they're worth nothing in that sense. Of course, they're worth something, but it's hard to argue what a company is worth that has no earnings. It's up for debate. Anyone can have their own opinion about it, but now we of course have the stock market's opinion quite soon of what it's going to be, and I think it was like 1.75 trillion. In my opinion, that's crazy stupid and it's fabricatedly high, and now I'm going to show you how it's done and why that is. Here we have the share count. These are not that accurate, these are just to get you to understand what is going on. This is the total share count right here, this bar, and this is how much was available. So you can see that this is the whole company, and this is a really small piece of the company that is available to purchase. Why this matters is because of this right here. Demand supply yield curve. No, this is not a yield curve, but curve. And if you study economics or business, you know what this is. This basically means that this up axle here is going to be price with a P. This axle down here is going to be quantity. This line here is supply, which means that when the price goes higher, supply goes up. This makes sense. For example, if I'm a producer of water bottles and the price for them goes up, you know, I'm gonna make more of them. And then this right here is demand, which is of course when the price goes down, the demand quantity goes up. So if the water bottles become cheaper, if these were like 20 cents, people would buy more of them. And this is what almost everything in economics and finance, etc. is based on. Well, not everything, but a lot. And when markets are liquid and when there's free markets, the balance and the price where we land and the price and the quantity is this point right here in the middle. And you can see the quantity if you go down and the price when you go here. That is what usually happens. But there's of course different situations. And what's happening in this situation is that they're restricting the supply like so. So this is the supply right here, normally. But they're not giving the supply, they're giving a low quantity of the supply, something like this. And what this means is that the price of the supply of the shares goes way up. It's gonna be like here, and the quantity is really low. But why does this matter? Well, this matters because you can use this market value for the few shares that you're offering to sell to evaluate the whole company. But it's, in my opinion, it's not a fair value because it's a small illiquid position where there's going to be like Elon fanboys that bought up all the shares because they love Elon and they want to pump up the stock and get some money, and they just love Elon and what he's doing and love space, and maybe they just don't know anything about how companies are valued, etc. You know, there's so much dumb people that if you sell just a small amount of shares, you can sell them everything for a ridiculous price. And what Elon can now do, and is probably gonna do, is the next thing. This is too funny, this is so bad, this drawing, but let me explain. So now the share count is of course really low that is available, and the whole company's market value is based upon that, because that's the way the stock market works, that's the way valuations work. In my opinion, it's even stupid that they let SpaceX IPO. I think it should not have been let happen, but it happened and there's nothing we can do about it now, but we just can't understand it. And what now Elon can do is he can say that, okay, because this is the available share count this month, this much, the whole company is going to be worth 1.75 trillion. And remember, the company is losing money. It's completely subjective of what the company's value is. In my opinion, it's not even close to that. If you would ask like smart people, they would probably say the same. There's enough dumb people that are willing to buy the stocks at crazy prices that you could say that the price is that because that's what the market is pricing it at. And I showed you before why that is. But now Elon can walk to a bank, let's say this is like JP Morgan, and Elon here, as you can see, beautiful Elon, he can get this crazy ass loan that is backed up by this company. Of course, he doesn't own it fully. Maybe Elon owns like a slice like this, so he wouldn't get $1 trillion, but like he can kind of use his share of SpaceX as a backing for a loan. And he can keep on paying the interest with new shares. He just can take out a new loan and a new loan and a new loan. And this way, Elon can just get like billions and billions and billions. It's gonna be tax-free. It's just like bullshit money because it's coming from with the backing of a company that is worth pretty much nothing. So he just kind of made a lot of money. And this is crazy. There's actually people that do these sort of things. And, you know, can't blame the hustle. Like, this is quite cool and quite interesting that you can do even something like this. Of course, I don't know how the banks are gonna value SpaceX. You know, it's gonna be quite small, probably the loans that he can get. But still, even still, company is not worth 1.75 trillion. He can probably get like maybe like 50% of the shares value as a backing for a loan. Usually they have like a multiple which is usually like 70 or something like that, but when it's so illiquid it's gonna be lower than that. But Elon is a happy man right now, and that's just crazy. You know, in one way I think that you can't blame the hustle because this is what the system is like, and if it's completely legal and you're allowed to do so, then yeah, go ahead. But at the same time, Elon is the richest dude already, and this money doesn't come out of nowhere. One way or another, this comes from other people. If it comes from banks, people who put money into the bank, they of course have a risk of losing the money. But the bank has a risk of losing the money through this, so the bank's customers can lose money on it. Probably not, but because another big issue that I could actually make a video about is that the banks have been kind of let roam free, and if a bank gets into too much trouble, the government is gonna bail them out. At least in the US, that's the case. I think in Europe it might be a bit different, but I'm really yearning for the creative destruction here. But yeah, a quick video for now. I'm not gonna go too much into detail here. I'm gonna look up a bit more facts on the IPO, but you can see how these billionaires can wiggle around money with lawyers and these tactics, and they can pretty much kind of suck money out of the economy, even though the business that they're running is not profitable. And actually in the stock market, oftentimes the best businesses to sell or IPO or kind of sell to investors are the ones that are not profitable, because it's up for debate whether, like, how much it's worth. Because if a lemonade stand, for example, makes 10 euros per month, it makes 120 a year, and you can just put a multiple of 10 or 20 on that and say that it's worth like 1500, for example. But if it's losing money, but it's building something great, you can sell it on as this great, magnificent idea that the big returns are just coming ahead. But yeah, let's see what the internet is talking about this IPO. We can see a few things right away. People are asking when it's going to be listing, and there's a massive crash. I wouldn't say a percent or two crash to be that massive, but I get that people are leaving the indexes. And let's actually talk about that for a bit. So what happened with this is that first off, they listed on the Nasdaq, I think, and they had Nasdaq kind of bend the rules for them, because of course with a big listing like this, all the involved parties are going to benefit a lot. Everyone wants to do an IPO. IPOs are great for the ones doing the IPO, the banks, for example, and the markets as well. So a big company, big listing like this has a lot of leverage, so they can kind of get the rules bent for them, and that's exactly what happened this time as well. Well, there usually has been like restrictions on companies that can list, that they have to be profitable for a specific time, and they have to have a certain amount of the stock liquid. Like I said to you before, they have a really small amount, and usually they have had to have quite a big amount to list. Which is good in my opinion, and it's in my opinion quite bad that they bent the rules for this one. And then a lot of index funds have done something where they are gonna take the SpaceX into their index faster. They're kind of fast tracking it. Often they have these rules that they're gonna follow the index, and it's gonna update in a few months, for example, in a year, for example, or they have this kind of specific measurements that the company has to be profitable, etc. But now SpaceX, they got a lot of these indexes, like the Nasdaq, to bend the rules for them and for them to be fast tracked into the indexes. Also MSCI indexes got into this. S&P actually didn't, so it's coming a bit later, but even in that, SpaceX is coming. And of course there's a lot of smart people out there that know the same that you and I know, which is that this shit is a scam. Not a scam, but the price is crazy. The price is crazy. It's stupid. It's not a profitable company. So people are selling the index funds, and that we can see here. This shit is red as hell. Let's see what else the internet is cooking. There's someone comparing Meta and SpaceX. I will like the chart looks a bit similar, but I don't think there is much more to this. Than that. Like Meta, for example, is a profitable company that is actually good, and you would have done really well if you had bought at the IPO. If you think about how much it's worth now, but SpaceX, and this is like a fake chart. Yeah, let's get over that. There's also been a lot of instruments where trading platforms and crypto platforms have been selling SpaceX shares as like early access. I think what they're doing is that they're going into the IPO themselves, and then they're selling them off to people, or allowing other people to trade on kind of some sort of instrument that is gonna update the price based on the stock market price when it eventually goes public. And the big news here is also that it has gone up. So it IPO'd at 135, and there's like different reports that it's between 160 and 175. I would not buy that shit. There's a lot of people that are gonna be pumping and dumping. It's gonna go up like shit, and it's gonna go down like probably. I don't know. It might just go up a lot, or down a lot. There's no telling, and I'm not telling you what to do. But there's a lot of investors. Maybe not even investors, let's say traders, that are betting on either one of those, and they're just looking to make money, and they're probably smarter than you and I, and they're spending way too much money and time on this. So it's not worth it to look at it. It's better to get to work. I'm going to work today, so much better than getting hung up on these things. Then there are people who's looking at Trump insiders, worst day. I don't know if X.com is the best place for the news on this. Like, people are kind of crazy. Like everyone here has like these crazy ass like avatars that are like, these are not real humors, and there's just like random crypto people. Oh, here we have footage from the listing. Oh, did he like sing their opening bell? He got the same leather jacket on. What's with the fucking leather jacket? Like, people are copying Jensen Huang. That ain't that stylish. I promise you, your stock price ain't gonna go up if you get the same jacket. I should get it. I should get it. I should start like pumping shares, pump and dumping shares. Would you buy it? No, no. It's just people clapping. Yeah, good for them, I guess. Then there's of course the classic people fear-mongering. We have a lot of comparisons to the dot-com bubble. And for good reason, I think. We are in a time where we have this new exciting technology and we don't know really yet how it's going to be utilized and in what time frame. And I think we're betting for everything to change soon, where actually the change is going to go bit by bit. It's going to be a lot slower than it is right now, and what people are betting on it. The change will be slow. For example, even like the amount of computers, the amount of compute, and not even the amount, like the processing power in general. Like it has diminishing returns, so you just cannot make better and better and better PCs. You just cannot always add like more GPUs, more data. And data is also a big bottleneck because these companies have run out of good quality, reliable data for AI. So we're kind of we're at a point where the stock market kind of is thinking about everything going up like crazy, really, really soon, really, really fast. But actually the change, the technological innovations and everything that will happen will go slow over time. So it's best not to panic right now. There's also the polymarket shitters in here. SpaceX IPO, there's a lot of people selling this. Me buying one share. Opening auction. Yeah. Hey Grok, this is interesting. No, it's not a trap, but it's no free lunch either. SpaceX has real tech, Starlink scaling fast, massive ambition and strong institutional demand for the invoice rate. That said, the valuation is sky high with heavy losses. This is actually a fair answer from Grok. I wouldn't say that it's too biased. Like it is true, there's Starlink. That is definitely good business. And there's a few other businesses in there that might be really successful in the future. Like these space data centers might be, I don't know, they could be the future. Hard to tell yet. And also the valuation is what it is, but there definitely is demand for it. So maybe you can say that the shares are worth what they're worth because people are willing to buy them at that point. But for me, they're not worth that. And I do not recommend anyone buying them. What else? But this line is actually quite crazy. Retail rarely gets the best allocations anyway. Long-term believers in the mission. Like, oh god, that is maybe a bit biased. Oh, this one's good.
There's a bubble.
SpaceX valuation, 1.8 trillion. Walmart valuation, 920 billion. SpaceX revenue, 18 billion. Walmart revenue, 730 billion.
Yeah, it's time to call bullshit.
Bullshit on what?
Every fucking thing.
Every fucking thing. Time to call bullshit on every fucking thing. That's a great way to end it, y'all. Let's get a quick meme for y'all. There we have it. That's it for the video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the SpaceX IPO? Have you bought in? Will you buy in? What do you think of the company? Do you think greed has taken over and it's crazy? What do you think in terms of ethics about the IPO, the valuation, about the rule bending, and about billionaires like Elon Musk kind of using the system to hassle more and more money into them? I don't know. You can let me know. You can have your own thoughts, of course. Yeah, see ya.